More than 50 years ago, the first of almost 3 million Americans to serve in Vietnam packed their bags, said goodbye to family and friends, and embarked on a mission that would change their lives and ours in ways that no one could have predicted. During nearly 20 years of America's involvement in Vietnam, from 1957 to 1975, more than 58,000 Americans would be killed or listed as missing in action. Their names are forever engraved on the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C., and onto our hearts. And now this traveling memorial brings this experience to us here, where we live. On this wall are the names of 1,160 Wisconsin service members who gave their lives in Vietnam. They and their sacrifices will live on because of this great monument, and because we will always remember, and we must never forget. Men like Gunnery Sergeant Richard Fleischer of the U.S. Marine Corps, who recently was finally laid to rest in Madison just 2 years ago. And Army Private First Class Philip Clark from here in Wisconsin Rapids, killed in action March 1966 in the Battle of My Phu. History has taught us that Americans will bear any hardship, overcome any obstacle, and fight any foe in the pursuit of liberty and justice for ourselves and our children, but more importantly for our countrymen, our ideals, our values, our way of life. Just look back to almost 9 years ago to the tragic events of September 11th to witness the resilience of the American spirit. Today we are a different nation, mindful of our vulnerabilities, but proud of our diversity. Less innocent, but much more courageous. More appreciative of life, yet more willing to risk life itself for a greater cause. The world is a vastly different place today than it was for past generations. While the United States cannot solve all of the world's problems with force, we are prepared to defend ourselves and our fundamental interests when threatened. As we speak, American men and women in uniform serve in over 120 countries throughout the world, and the legacy left by our veterans continue to inspire this new generation. In Iraq and Afghanistan, our forces continue to fight against an ideology that is contrary to everything we believe. This is hard and costly work, as we in Wisconsin have been too frequently reminded. Since 9/11, 136 service members from Wisconsin have lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan. For today's members of the U.S. Armed Forces in Wisconsin, our mission to defend freedom lives on, strengthened by the memory of these 136 fallen citizens, by the 1,160 names on this great wall, by all of our fallen heroes, and inspired by each veteran who has ever served. So today, we remember Vietnam veterans for their service and for their sacrifice. Let's also applaud them for the example that they have set for our current and future military. But let's also remember the service to our nation by the families of our veterans. For while a veteran signifies their combat service with a unit patch on their right shoulder, our families wear their combat patch on their hearts. So today, of all the veterans here today, a grateful nation thanks you. God bless you and your family. God bless America's men and women in uniform, and may God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.